Rethinking the Sapphire Reserve, why now is a great time to get a Discover card, and how choice got the better of Mark. All of that coming up right now on MTM Travel.
Who knew Choice was the only hotel program with good IT?
So happy Thursday, Mark. And this is our Miles and Points show. We're going to talk credit cards, all that good stuff. Tuesday's show, we talked about Hyatt status for a day with American and all kinds of stuff, our upcoming trips. So how are you doing today?
Oh, I mean, this is show recording number 6 of the day.
Why do you always got to tell behind the scenes? Why can't we have secrets?
We're wearing the same clothes. They're going to know. No, we're both traveling, and Sean heads out tomorrow, so we're packing it all in. So it might be get a little loopy in here.
Yeah, this is the special show because it's the last one that we are recording, so we will probably be unhinged. But there is actually a lot of stuff to talk about. And you have an update on the Spirit credit card. So Spirit went away. There's still people walking around with Spirit credit cards. I imagine there's probably still people using Spirit credit cards, but there is no Spirit loyalty program.
Weird.
But there is Bank of America. Like, what happens, Mark? What is going on?
Yeah, so Bank of America first sent out a thing like, hey, your card will still work. We're still supporting it. Continue to use it. And that was it. And I'm like, who's going to use this card? You can't get miles. Like, what's the point here? And then they sent out last week, they sent out another email that said, hey, we're working on this. We're going to get you into a product change or whatever. Just keep using your card. And then whatever card you get product changed into, whatever rewards you would have earned will transfer over to that. So like, I'm guessing whatever the cash back you would have earned, you'll get there. And I'm sure it'll be kind of messy because it's not going to be 1-for-1 in the system. But Doctor of Credit wrote, and I shared this around the web on the site, that if you call and you escalate to a supervisor, you can get your annual fee refunded. Now, I wasn't like in a big rush to do this because we had just signed up for it. We got the sign up bonus. I used those to book flights. It saved me like over $1,000 compared to booking with a different airline. So I'm already like well ahead of the game. The $89 annual fee, whatever. We'll see. But I kind of felt like they were going to have to do it for everyone, probably legally wise, refund everybody's annual fee. But I decided to burn the wife points this weekend.
So you made her call.
Yeah, I got impatient, and it was my birthday weekend, so that was a perfect time. Like I saved up like 3 phone calls I needed her to make, and I was like, "Hey, happy birthday!" I'm like, "Yeah, by the way, I need you to make these phone calls." So I didn't get as much of a stare of death from it or laser eyed, so that was good. And she called, and the rep was like, "Hey, we know what's going on. We're going to refund everybody's annual fee." So that's the first time anybody's heard that, or at least that I've heard that they're going to refund the annual fee for all cardholders. And then after that, they're going to product change everyone. Cause I told her like, hey, tell them you want the annual fee refunded, and then ask to get like the customized cash or one of their no fee cards. Doesn't really matter which. And they said, and then once you get the annual fee back, we'll move everybody over to a no fee card. They didn't specify which one. Maybe they'll send us a thing saying pick from these choices or whatever it is. But I think it's cool that Bank of America is finally stepping up and just doing this. I'm sure they were caught a little bit blindsided, scrambling, but just imagine like how much this is going to cost them in annual fee refunds. I mean, their credit card network is maybe not that huge, but then also all the miles they bought up front for cardholders from Spirit and just like lost all that.
Yeah, it's interesting with the business on the back end, like how that happens. But as you point out, Bank of America, it's not like we knew this was going to happen or this was a sunsetting of their program. And even until the last days, there was hope that there was going to be a saving of Spirit Airlines. The government was looking to talk. So yeah, they had no way to know that this is going to happen. And here you are with one of your partners just gone and trying to save the customers, keep them happy. The economics, yeah, like all the money, like you said, buying the miles. I never thought about that. Yeah, I don't know. Did you see that video? There was a video that went around of a Spirit plane, like a 4-year-old Spirit plane getting torn apart in the desert in Arizona. So why are they scrapping these planes? Like, why are we scrapping 4-year-old planes? I'm sure that there's some reason, but it's weird.
No, I didn't see that, but that is crazy because my understanding was Spirit was leasing all of these planes. So you think the leaseholder would want to release them to someone else. I don't know why you tear it apart unless there was just something wrong with it. Or are they doing this to like a whole bunch of planes?
They are. I know some of them went back to the leaseholders. This particular plane, I think, went out of service a few months ago. So it was one of them already paring down their fleet, but it was only like 4.4 years old. So I don't know what the
Well,
what
send
was
it
the
to
reason.
United. I still see U.S. Airways flights or planes.
That's true. You mean Continental?
You can still see it like etched on the wall.
Do you mean Continental or you mean U.S. Airways and American?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Both. I mean, like we still see those in circulation. So it's kind of crazy that they would scrap this for you. Like you could have Spirit and Outline on there too.
I don't know. I think somebody should just start a yellow airline and then you could go with it. But yeah, it's been
The bus of the sky. Just call it the bus of the sky. Tagline.
all right. Well, let's
Like a school bus, yellow. Come on.
From the bus of the sky
of
to
recording, it's all unhinged. Let's go.
From the bus of the sky to the bus of hotels, Choice Hotels. They had this promotion. They had their
Wyndham. Wyndham is the bus of hotels.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know the step
The
above
roadside
the bus.
hotel.
But Choice has this gas promotion. They've run this. Do they run this every summer? It feels like
I
almost
think
most
so.
summers they do.
Yeah.
And they basically you get a $50 gas card. You were kind of looking, and basically they give you points in order to redeem for a gas card, and then you figured that you were going to figure out a way to redeem points, Wells Fargo points, for some outsized value. And then Choice had figured out that somebody like you was coming along, and they figured out how to make that not happen.
Yeah, maybe they already did in the previous one. But this is weird. Like they advertise it as $50 gift card after 2 nights or 2 stays. And I'm like, okay, that's not all that interesting. And then in smaller print, it says, we will send you up to 8,000 points, which 8,000 points will be the redemption for the gift card. I'm like, all right, wait. I didn't realize that you could redeem Choice points for gift cards, number one. Number two, 8,000 points for a $50 gift card. That doesn't seem terrible for Choice points. I started doing the math, and on like the 3% cash back at Wells Fargo, instead of cashing those out at 1 cent a point, you're getting 1.25 cents per point. So that's like kind of a little, oh crap, we can't say uplift because we canceled that last episode. But that's a little bit of a spoof on your earnings if you were cashing out your points anyway. That's kind of interesting. Everybody needs gas these days, or most people do, and gas is expensive. So let me go in there and check and see if I could just redeem the points I have in my account. And I look at it and it's showing, I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe they have like Amazon for 8,000 points. Open it up. Amazon from 8,000 points. Oh my gosh, we're going to like really rail this home. And I open it up and 8,000 points gets you a $25 gift card, not 50. All right, that sucks. Maybe gas is different. Nope, gas, 8,000 for 25. All right, maybe I need to read these terms. So I go back and read the terms and it says, we'll give you this special pricing. Okay, gotta wait for the promo to start. Then I can use the points on my account to do this. Promo starts. Nope. So I reach out on Twitter and I'm like, hey, when I stay 2 nights, when does this kick in? Because I noticed the pricing isn't there yet. And they say after 2 nights, it will unlock on your account. So they actually figured out, I can't believe they got the IT to do this. Maybe it will still be a problem after you do the 2 stays, that it won't be on your account. And you have to ask, but I'm shocked.
Hey, it's impressive that they did it, but I just laughing at the story because I have done this, in our job, we research things and stuff like that. And we're also nerds about this stuff. So once in a while you see a promo, you get excited about it and you start at the wrong place, right? And that's exactly what you did.
You don't read the
I've
terms.
done this. Yeah, I've done this before too, where I get so excited and I get more excited. And then you realize like, oh, there's something that was very obvious from the beginning that you could have looked at that to tell you. And the point is it's all a fun journey. And I think that just shows you the excitement of it, right? Is that you got excited for it because it was an exciting thing. And yeah, I've done that myself so many times. And it is sad though, when you get more excited and you keep going further and further and you're like, oh my God, this is good. This is good. This is good. I found something here. And then, then you realize like it was all for nothing. And I am impressed though, that they can tell that, that you stayed and that it unlocks the redemption rates. And, AI is good for something, I guess. They made these hotel programs be able to actually have decent websites.
Yeah, because this is the company that I did where I got $1,000 in Visa gift cards, 2 suite tickets, all this swag and merch, and a hotel for a couple 100,000 points for that football redemption a couple of years ago. And I think it was supposed to be starting at, and they accidentally rolled it out with this is the price. So I just jumped on it and booked it. And then every other year they've done it after that is starting at. It's a bidding war. So the same company that messed that up somehow figured out to do this. And it wasn't like that great of a thing. It's just fun to kind of find something that works in a way that it shouldn't be. And that's something we should all be doing all the time, like kicking tires, poking things. That's how you really do discover sweet spots or notice where you can go to a football game and get like 2 cents per choice point when normally you get under a cent a piece, things like that.
And when you talk to the heavy hitters, the best of the travel hackers, the best of the people who earn, millions of miles and points, this is how their brains work. This is what they do. This is how they find things. They're not waiting for the overplayed thing that everybody knows about. They're finding the new thing for themselves. And this is sort of, even though this is a very small example on a very small deal, this is the type of thinking that does that.
Yeah, they're doing that every day, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times a day, just going to different fintechs, going to different credit unions, trying all these different things, and they might find one. I mean, there's a lot of things. You might go 100 no's. It's kind of like knocking on doors, trying to sell things door to door. You have to knock on 100 doors to make one sale. You have to kick the tires on probably 30 or 40 of these things before you find one that was worth the time.
You make it sound so sexy. It is so sexy to do this, but
get in your mom's basement and get to work.
How about we talk about a deal that's much easier? That's so wrong. A deal that is so, hey, it's so much easier. Just grab a Discover card. Now's the time. Like everybody knows about Discover, Mark. Why is now the time to grab a Discover card? Because you lay out the value. There's so much value with this new offer that we think is the best ever, right?
Yeah, and I was going to write this before they came out with this $200 offer. Normally, you can only get like $100 and it's via referral. And it's just when you get approved, you get $100. This one, it's when you get approved and you spend $500, you get $200. And I think that's the best it's ever been. So that's 200 for 500. That's nothing new. That was like kind of the run of the mill offer for Freedom cards and Bank of America MLB cards back in the day. All these different ones, the AARP Chase card, if you remember that one, shout out to the OGs that do. It was kind of the way that all these no fee cards ran. So that's good. But then they are still doubling the cash back in the first year. And if you get the Discover It, that means the 5% quarterly categories are now worth 10% in the first year. But the real catch is doing it in the middle of a quarter. You still have 4 or 5 weeks to maximize this quarter. Then you go quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, the normal 3 months to do the 5%. But then you get a fifth quarter. You get the first half of the fifth quarter. So you can do this 5 times now. So now we're looking at $375 at 5%. That's doubled at the end of the year if you can maximize all of them, up to $750. You're talking about the $200 bonus. There's $950. But the really interesting thing is Capital One's rolling Discover into their portfolio in July, where it will be on the Capital One site. Now, normally Capital One cashback cards you can turn into miles if you have a Venture One, Venture X, or I believe Venture X Business. But if you have one of those miles earning cards with an annual fee, you can turn cashback into miles. Now, what if that becomes 95,000 Capital One miles? Sean doesn't think they're the worst. I do, but there's a potential to get really interesting there.
All I can say is that no other show will you ever hear of second half of the fifth quarter. So whatever that means. Or the other extra half of the fifth quarter. Whatever.
Yeah. There you go. You get 5 quarters if you play.
It makes perfect sense to me. I was just like, none of that makes sense if you actually think about it. The second half.
Quarter's supposed to be 4. I know. This is the way it is. Overtime.
No, I mean,
you get the first half of overtime.
As you point out, it's like over a 12% cashback return, right? 12.67%. In your article, even if you're not factoring in that it might be Capital One or whatever it is, this is a great value and it's a good card to have long term. I haven't, I used to maximize every quarter, and I have been very bad about that the last couple of years on Discover. I should admit it. So maybe it's time to jump back on the hoop. But even if you're not doing every quarter, let's be realistic. If people aren't doing probably every single thing every quarter, this is still probably 9-10% cash back if you take the easy categories and stuff like that. It's a great offer. And Discover doesn't get talked about enough probably anymore. It feels like they've fallen off from in the wider community. Maybe there's just more interesting cards these days.
Yeah, I think everybody likes to focus on miles and points versus cash back, but this could be the get your cake and eat it too if it does turn into, and we don't know for sure if you will be able to roll in your cash back to miles. But like to your point, I do like that you have 5 chomps at the bit or whatever you want to say, that if one quarter is kind of meh to you, you might do $500 in it and 1,000 in another quarter. It's still like you're maxing out all 4 quarters. You're just getting 5 chances to do it. So even if you get $300, that gets doubled to 6, and then you still get the $200 bonus. So you're looking at $800. That isn't too bad. And I like that it gives you the possibility of like not going all in all the time, because you're like, oh, all right, I got 4 weeks. It's dining or whatever. I'm going to use it for as my dining card. We'll see where I get to, and I'll focus on it next quarter. I do think Discover has been the strongest with their quarters lately. Freedom's kind of fallen off a cliff. They have terrible quarters lately, and Discover's kind of taken that mantle, I think.
Yeah, I think I don't know anybody maybe in this hobby who doesn't have a Discover card, so it's a good time to pick it up. $200 welcome offer, also unheard of just for that, as you point out. The double cashback, good. We've all done many versions of those offers.
And you can get 2 Discover cards. They can be 2 of the same cards. So you get if you have a Discover it already, you can get another one. You don't have to product change or close it or do any of that. It just has to be 12 months or more since you signed up for the card you already have. So even if you've got one like 5 years ago, get another one.
So let's talk Chase now. We're going round robin through all the banks. American Express going to feel a little left out of this show, I think. But the Sapphire Reserve, Benjy had an article why he's going back to the Sapphire Reserve. I guess I should do a little background on Benjy. He's not signing up for these cards new. Actually, he's upgrading and downgrading cards that he already has. And his whole argument is he left it because he's like, with all the coupon book stuff, it's not enough value there. And yet he finds value. He's going back and he says, this is why I'm going back to Sapphire Reserve. And one hint, 1.25 cents at grocery, pay yourself back. I think that is the big value here in this quarter, right?
Yeah, that's big for him. It might not be big for others. It's getting closer to the value of Ultimate Rewards than it used to. When you used to get 1.5 cents and pay yourself back, that was good because it was about the same as the portal. Now the portal's gone. Pay yourself back has dropped to 1.25, but Chase partners have dropped kind of down to 1.25. Southwest, United, Hyatt, that's kind of the realm. It's getting down there. And we talked about this previously. Like once you get that cash back, you can earn off of it by buying your travel. You earn points for the purchase. You earn points for the stay or the flight. So it gets you above and beyond if you look at it that way. But I like the aspect of these coupons are annoying, but it doesn't mean that they're always worthless. Just because they're worthless when you close a card doesn't mean a year later they're not worth something to you. Like we use the FHR credits to book our hotels in Bermuda. Normally I didn't use the FHR credits, but that year having a couple platinum cards paid off huge. We were able to book 4 nights at $300 off and get some of those perks. And I think that he recognized, hey, the StubHub credit I normally probably wouldn't use. I guess you could buy something and try to resell it, get a portion of it back. But he's like, I want to go to this show or do this concert or I have this sporting event. This year, it makes sense. That's money I'm going to spend anyway. So that's money off the annual fee. It makes more sense. So I think it is the great point is every year is different. Every year, whether you have the card or you're thinking about upgrading to the card or you're thinking of downgrading, each year you should redo this and look at, okay, this is what I have coming up. I can use that easily. I can't use that easily. Things like that. And it ebbs and flows from year to year. It's not always not worth it or always worth it. It changes.
And then some things are just icing on the cake, right? He talks about all the extra benefits like the sort of rideshare benefits or going to the Sapphire lounges. He says that I didn't really make this as part of my decision that I'm going to have access to the Sapphire lounges or these smaller credits, but I may use them. So that's just a little icing on the cake. So sometimes that stuff kind of makes you emotionally feel better. But I think the interesting thing here is that this is a person who's very, he's looking at everything, and he's not just getting the Sapphire Reserve card just to have it. In fact, he's very strategically gave it up, and he's still finding the value there for it. And I want to point out that for him, I think a lot of the value is in being able to cash out his points at an increased value. So that is a little bit different. And without that, for me, I've said it's borderline. I kept my Sapphire Reserve last year. It'll come up against at the end of this year. It's really right on the border. And if it's right on the border, I probably shouldn't keep it.
Yeah, I would downgrade it for sure for most people. But if you have a stash, and this is another thing, like if you have a stash of Ultimate Rewards and that have been sitting there for years and years, you're not really using it. You notice that the travel redemptions, the transfer partners aren't as worthwhile, but you have a ton of grocery spend, or you have a way to make a ton of grocery spend, then that extra 0.25 cents per point on a million points more than covers the fee. Things like that. Like, you have to look at it that way. Like, if you can cash out enough to cover it and come out ahead versus 1 cent per point, then why not do it? This is the same calculations as getting a Schwab card. If you have 2 million membership rewards points, then grab a Schwab card in December, cash out 1 million, triple dip your credits, cash out January 1st, another million. Now you cash out 2 million at the extra 0.1 cents per point. That brings you a couple $1,000.
Boom. I'm very sad, Mark. I don't have any more American Express points in my account. They're all, well, because my wife doesn't have the Schwab. And so I've cashed out all my points. And so she has points that I have to get her the Schwabs. The point is, to eventually cash out her points. But I have taken, because mine's about to renew and I'm going to get rid of it. And I have taken myself down to just basically zero in my American Express account. And that's, like you said, nice cash in the bank. You could invest it, put it in, it goes right into your investment account. And that's probably the smart thing to do instead of just taking it out and doing something else with it. But you could do anything with it.
Yeah, you can put it right into the IRA, which has some benefits to it that you wouldn't get otherwise. That's an option. But it is true. Like, I hate when my wife has the miles and points in her account, even though, like, I can log in and do everything I need to do. It just feels weird when it's sitting over there. Like, I usually cash out her points and leave mine as a stash, but I'm in that same boat where now mine has the stash. So I might grab a Schwab later on this year, start cashing out my points and build up her stash again.
Yeah, and just hope that she doesn't leave you behind and go jet set the world with all the points, leaving you broke. Points broke.
I know.
What is that fear?
Burn a lot.
We've both been married a long time.
I don't know.
Like I don't think my wife's gonna go steal my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like it feels better in like your accounts. Sometimes it matters. Sometimes it's annoying to transfer to places or to book for you in other places, but most of the time it doesn't. It's just a mental thing.
So let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. Sapphire Reserve, the spouse points. Do you feel better when the points are in your account and not with your evil spouse? Discover the $200 catch. Not talking about anybody's spouse in particular, certainly not ours.
I'm sure some people have some evil ass spouses out there.
No, I mean, I'm serious. There's probably people that are worrying, but I want to just make it clear. I don't think either of us are worrying from that perspective.
No,
it's just,
I'm sorry. Yeah. Apologies to everybody that does worry about it. That sucks.
Yes. But anything else we talked
on a new wife or husband?
It's happened though. Like, you get married and then somebody leaves with all the points. That's got to be heartbreaking. Like, if you're the travel hacker, you're the P1, and then you have everything in the P2 and they just take off with all the work, all the hard work.
That's why you keep them in the dark, so they don't know anything that's there. And then when you get divorced, you hope they forget about it.
Yeah, because then they're posting things on IG with the guy at the tiki bar down on the beach, and he's using your miles and points. And oh man, that would suck. That would suck.
Man, that was a dark picture. Sad.
Yeah. I don't know where it all came from either. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know about all of it down below. And check us out on Vegas, our other shows. A little bit unhinged. Always a lot of fun. And thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good week, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. Week and a half. Something like that. Get that Discover card.